Hello YouTube. Today I am going to show you how to add a link port to a Gemmy called a lightshow with timer. Does not have one. This particular unit did not have one. This is the unit I've been using for a couple years now. It did not have one, and I found a way you can add the second controller if you ever get one later on. So to start is you need to know how to solder, because there's no wires for you to attach off of to. So you need to know how to solder on the board. If you have the one with the link port, but you're just looking to add a cable to where you can maybe add more than one device, then you might be able to get away without soldering, but I really would not recommend it. So step one, you need to learn how to solder. You can just get a basic kit, and it's not that hard to do. And then you're just going to need some lamp cord. I used 18-2 lamp cord. Keep in mind that you won't be able to detach it. There are some connectors online. I'll put a link for maybe a few down in the description. You can get one on Amazon. I might add one, I might not, but I would add it closer to your main controller on the bottom. So we won't need the speaker for this at all right now, nor any of the stakes. So we'll just get these out of the way. My second controller is attached already, so can't do anything about that. So to get started, you want to open up your main box. Make sure the power is unplugged. So right now my power cord is unplugged from the controller. You need a Torx bit that is either a number 3 or number 4. In this case, the one I might be using is a T15 by 4. So basically it's just a number 4 screwdriver Torx bit. I believe this is what it is. But basically this little star. I forget the exact name for it right now. Let me see. I'm sorry, I think it's a number 15 Torx bit. So I believe it's a number 15 Torx bit. If not, it's a number 14. I was able to use both interchangeably, but this one I found stripped it out a little bit. So to get started is you want to open up your main box by popping the lid open. And on the inside, you will have 6 screws. 3 of them you'll need to remove. I only removed the bottom 3. They're through this plastic cover. No, I did not damage it. It will not look like this at all times. It'll just look like this with holes in it. That's fine, but it won't be peeled up like this. I accidentally did not shut the cover all the way. Like this was getting in the way of the cover. It didn't shut all the way one time when I had it for Memorial Day, and humidity got into it and killed or completely ruined my sticker here. So no, it won't look like this all the time. But you want to take those few screws on out. And I think those might be the number 14 or a number 10. These might be a number 10. Yeah, the top screws are number 10. Torx bit. And the final screw. So now you have those 3 removed. There's no need to take them out. Just leave them in there. You want to go and flip the unit on its back side. And you can see all of these holes in the back. You want to remove them all now. Now you can remove them all. This might be, let's see. Yeah, these are also number 10. By accidentally stripped out a few of them. I don't know what I did. I think I just didn't use the right fit. So a number 15 seemed to fit it. Some of them might come out. This one, I don't even think there's a screw inside of it. No. So yeah, a number 15 for the back, a Torx bit, number 15 for the back, a number 10 for the front cover to get those off. So now you have all those off. Hopefully this cover will just pop right off. Yep. And then you can just pull out. There's something still hung up over here. There we go. So once you have the inside cover taken off, you gotta try and get this out of the way. And I'll hold the camera to show you exactly where you need to hook up to. Right down in there. You can see all of these connectors here. Everything's hooked up. One for the sensor here. There's some going up to the timer, the auxiliary port, the speakers in there. But this is the port that was not hooked up. And this is your link port. As you can see, I soldered 2 wires directly to the board. And then I looped it right down in there. And I just melted the plastic with the soldering iron. And that holds. As you can see, there it is. This is a circuit board that actually holds all the high voltage. And there's your first set of 3 outlets, your second set of 3 outlets. This is channels 4 through 6. This is channels 1, 2, 3. There's a little red jumper. I didn't put that there. That was already there when I first opened it. And as you can see, it's not the prettiest job, but it works. The link port works on it. That was the only connector that wasn't connected. So soldered right into it. And the second controller turned on. So I will open up the second controller. I'll leave it disconnected like this, and I'll put it together separately. No, I'll show you how to put it back together. I'll be back in just a minute, and we'll go and put this together. And then part 2, I'll make a second video on how to open up the second controller to go ahead and solder this cable directly in. Okay, now it's time to put this thing back together. So, to get started, you want to make sure that your outlets are seated either on one side of the cover or the other, and that you put your circuit board. You can see here, there's a notch. You can't really see too well. There's a notch in there, right there where the circuit board's supposed to sit. And then there's one on the other side. So just take your circuit board and kind of work its way with some of the wires if you need to. And just slowly get the circuit board back into place. It might help turn the unit around on its side. And then the circuit board will go right back in. Make sure all the circuit boards are in. Then go ahead, slide the front cover. Don't push down, because you guys are also working the front too. You have to kind of work it in from the front. And maybe it wouldn't be helpful to take your outlet out and make sure it's on the same cover, snapped in. Then go ahead and take your main cover and just align it up. here, see if you lined up or not. Make sure you're lined up. Oh, almost. Sorry if I'm out of shot for a second. Now I'm in. Oh. And then start screwing down your front cover, your cover. Screwing only a few screws on this side of the cover. So like as you can see, one came out here. Screw in the two bottom ones just so it can hold it in. And then maybe even screw in these top ones. Then take your cover, take your unit, hook it back up. Grab out your number 10 screwdriver, Torx, and screw those back down into place. Now you're going to put it back together. Before you go ahead and even test, or go ahead and hook up your second controller, test out your first controller. Make sure that you didn't mess up any of the wiring. I have some string of lights here. We can plug in the speaker and we can test it. Make sure you didn't mess up your controller. So go ahead, just take your string of lights, plug it into an outlet. I think I have two. Yeah, we could plug it into a couple outlets. Doesn't matter if it's, just plug it into two random outlets. Then take your speaker. I don't know if any of that is in shot. Just take your speaker, plug it into the bottom. Make sure the wires here that go to your second controller are separated. And plug in your main controller. Your second controller is not hooked up at this point. And then go ahead and give your main controller a test. So we're going to go ahead and turn the unit on. The lights flash. Turn it to all on, and we're going to go to song loop. Okay, I got it right. As you can see, it works just fine. Go to effects, auxiliary. The auxiliary should just be off unless you have something hooked up. And then see, all the timers work. And then of course your on-off works. That just kills power to the unit. So yep, that is part one of the Gemmy light show with timer. We're gonna go over to part two now and open up the second controller. The second controller is a little bit more difficult, but if you do it correctly, it should be a lot simpler than you might think. So stay tuned for part two.